Ignition sequence start. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bob said, "Welcome to the Realist Podcast. I am your host Bob. Blake, Tom, and Colby are, well, let's just say, not here, ha ha ha."
Bob, what are you talking about? We're right here. I see what you're trying to do, locking me out of my house and stuff like that. Bob, what is up with this, man? Thought we were cool.
Jeez.
Bob
Bob's
said,
not cool
"Sorry
anymore."
Blake, I was gonna take over for you guys. I thought I made you guys disappear."
That's just
Oh,
messed up.
I see how it is, Bob. That's not even fair.
Yeah, dude, that's not cool, man. I'm gonna make you go play like a shit game for a while.
Bob said, "No."
Yes.
No. 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 Well, welcome to the Realist
No.
Podcast. Welcome to In Game. In this episode, well, state of video games. So much to talk about. We're basically going to be talking about everything from the next-gen consoles being Xbox One and PS4, what we've liked about them, about really hype games, and the big disappointments. I'm joined by Tom and Colby. I mean, seriously, all of them. Seriously, it's like, this game will be the next best thing. Man, I really don't like that game.
So how about that Pokemon Go? I mean, it's
What system is that on? Oh, iPhone. What?
Yeah. That game is taking everyone over, you know. It's see everyone playing it.
Yep.
I can't even get into, like, how disappointed I am with... I mean, other than the people that make Fallout, really, it's been disappointing. Like, launch title games was what Call of Duty Ghosts, Battlefield 4, and...
There really wasn't any launch title that just made me jump. I mean, there was one that I highly anticipated, and we'll talk about. I think we're going to collectively talk as a group about that because I think we all played that. But I mean, you know, there's just one that as much as it did suck and there's a lot of issues, I still played the absolute fire out of it. You know, and it took a little time to actually fix, but we'll go into that further once we get to that segment.
I'm just trying to think, like, the only big hit games that really get my attention is, like, the ones that were made, for, like, remastered.
Yeah. Exactly, I have to agree.
I mean, I can, like, walk, because my PlayStation's, you know, right behind my little studio set up here, and, I mean, I can go through the different games and just look at them with disgust.
Yep, I'm kind of the same. Maybe not with disgust, but disappointment.
I mean, there's a few there that's disgust. There are a lot with disappointment. And we're going to talk about my most complete, utter disappointment in gaming history. And I'm 33 years old. I've been playing since the Atari, and I've never been so disappointed in a game than I have in this one game. Hello, Thunder.
I mean, it's like, you look at the game and you're that parent, like, we're not mad. We're just disappointed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or, you know, in a series, you know, when someone brings up, well, what about this game? And then all the fans just go, yeah, we don't speak of that title.
We don't like their content. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Too far.
Too far.
Well, Tom, how about you start? What were some of the disappointments for you from 2013 to 2016 now?
I mean, you know, and I know we all came up with a list, but I don't remember who chose what. So I'm just going to mention something, and then we can all just kind of go into that way, because
sounds good.
I've had a really long day at work, and I don't feel like. So
all good.
I'm just going to start off, and this might take a few, because I think we all have input on this. The biggest disappointment on the next gen consoles, the biggest disappointment in gaming for me in the history of gaming, has been Battlefront.
Oh my goodness!
I agree.
I know we touched on it. You know, in a previous episode, I mentioned that you know, it did not live up to the hype, but Mother of Mountain Dew, it didn't live up to anything. I mean, it's to be such a hyped title, to be such a incredible title to be, to have the Star Wars name, to capture the Star Wars fandom. I haven't touched it. I bought it on
I
release
haven't
day.
either.
I streamed it for a couple days. My group started playing it, but we were just like, this is shit.
There was nothing there.
Excuse my
for it.
language, but this is crap. It was fun, and it's still fun for the first, I'm going to say 30 minutes of gameplay.
Absolutely.
But then it's just like, what's left? What is there in this game that keeps me coming back? And there's nothing.
I couldn't find anything either.
There's absolutely nothing that keeps me coming back to this game.
Well, play the 3 maps. What's next? Oh, Hoth again? Okay.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
let's play. Oh, hey, you can fly a vehicle, an aircraft that is designed for outer space flight
On a planet.
But you've got a ceiling cap.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you cannot go that high. You must stay below here. I mean, it's cool. I like the fighting, I like the flying part of it. But it still it in itself has some issues. Like it auto levels you, and I don't want auto leveling. I want to be able to pitch it upside down, pull some negative G's, flip behind somebody. I mean, it's just. It's frustrating.
I can tell you are so upset at this. You're trying to hold back. I
am really trying to be PG-13. Like I could do, and this is going to be a shout out to Angry Joe. Angry Joe show really did justice for the rant that I want to give this game. Angry Joe show is a friend of mine. I know another one of his buddies, Anger Beard, and when I watched his review, I was like, Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. So yeah, it was it was shit.
Do you want to know what's sad? Is the fact that I had more fun playing the beta than I did
The
when
release.
I had the game.
Same.
I wish I wouldn't have bought it.
Same here. I
Part-
pre-ordered it.
This
I went to go
is
trade it in the other day. Guess how much they wanted to give me?
$6.
$3.
What? Wow.
$3, boys. $3 whole dollars.
It's more-
300 pennies.
It's more.
Think about
worth-
that.
It's more
Think
worth
about that.
collecting dust than it is giving it back to them.
Yeah.
Just think about that. 300 pennies. 30 dimes. That's all the value that has been placed on it. 30 you could take a roll of dimes and that would be overpaying for this game.
Yeah.
That's worse than a sports game.
That's bad. That's bad.
That is bad. And before we continue this, we have No Man's Sky on the screen right now because No Man's Sky, as of right now, is the big hype, which is coming out next week. This is the big hype of this month, and obviously we're coming into the holidays, where we're going to get that 3 or 4 titles that are just going to be really, really hyped, and they're either going to be a big disappointment or they're going to be loved. Man, I can't agree with you anymore. But there's part of me, that Star Wars fan in me, is like, I don't want to sell it. It's just like that Star Wars part of me is like, no, I can't sell this. I can't.
That's part of me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, but the gamer side of me is like, I'd rather gargle a cup full of razor blades.
I'd rather drink some bleach.
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather play Elder Scrolls Online or Need for Speed or just some other games like it's just. I'd rather play Destiny than play this game.
Oh, that's a big hit.
Oh, and we'll get on to Destiny. I think one of you guys want to talk about Destiny, and boy, do I have some things about that too.
I got some things to talk about Destiny as well.
The only thing Star Wars that I thought did well in was the graphics. I still think that's probably the
The
most
graphics
beautiful
are
game I've ever
beautiful.
seen.
Yeah, and like some of the modes, like it's cool. Like one of the modes is really cool. You can be a hero. You've got your special abilities, but the map is like playing in a kindergarten playground. That's it. Like you're like, oh look, there he is over there. All right, let's run to the back of the. Oh, he's still over there, like in visual distances. Like it's just they rushed it. There's no single player.
They've admitted to that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
DICE
they rushed
admitted-
it bad because they were trying to
They
Release
wanted-
it with the movie.
capture the hype of the movie, and they just
Failed.
I think failed.
they
even,
reamed
like,
us.
I think failed.
They
is
reamed
even-
us. I feel violated for paying $60. You know what I could have done with that $60? I could have gotten a lot of different pleasures for that $60.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Man.
beer.
I know with the second one because they are making a second one. Believe it or not,
Oh,
they're making a second one, and I know they've said they're going to put a single player in there. They've actually put a single player in there now, but it's still bad. It's basically the same thing. It's basically Walker Assault, but you're playing bot. So it's like, okay, let me
not
get a
single player.
let me get 125 kills with no deaths.
Yep.
That's just that's not really single player though. Single
It's
player, we want a
not.
campaign to run around in. Like
We
at
want a
least the Battlefield
storyline.
series and the Call of Duty series has kept up with that and kept a freaking storyline. You know, a story mode campaign that you can play through. Albeit it might be short. It's still fun.
And it might
Yes,
be bad.
Star Wars is like jerk, 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 jerk in your face, and that's all you get. Like,
Yep.
well, we just went to a rated R podcast.
Oh well. Oh well.
Rated R.
Rated R for raging awesomeness.
Man,
Ugh.
like I can't. I just think about it. I'm
We
like,
need
I'm so disappointed.
We need to get uncensored one day where I could just get to go off
Well,
and say what I
technically,
want to.
this
Well,
is
technically we
uncensored.
are. This is uncensored.
You're holding back.
I'm
Yeah.
holding back, yes, because I mean I can flip the switch
Go
and say
for
the
it.
game was an absolute fucking complete waste of my goddamn hard-earned money.
Like this is the way I look at it. If there is a kid in there that is watching our podcast, his parents allowed him to get on YouTube. He looked it up. I mean, it's just how it is. That's a podcast nowadays. They're uncensored.
Well, and I mean to be perfectly honest, I play Grand Theft Auto, and some of these kids in GTA say more stuff than me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, whoa, dude, you're like 10,
11.
your balls haven't dropped yet. You're cursing more violent than I do. The hell.
Yeah.
It could be because I'm getting old. I'm getting like the Clint Eastwood like mentality of get off my lawn.
Oh man, I remember like in junior high and high school, I was cussing like a sailor. I can't stand hearing it, and I do it
I barely
every
said
now
a
and then.
word during
I
that
do-
time, but it's just a game. Like there's been a couple games that have just come out that have just left me. I wouldn't say speechless because I'm really rarely ever speechless. I'm usually very vocal about things, and I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind. I do hold back when I have to, but we could spend an hour talking about just the shitastic performance that Battlefront was. Like, I was hoping for more of a Battlefield style Battlefront because I don't know if you guys remember. So this is going to show my age a little bit, and if any of you guys watching remember this, put something in the comments. Let me know that I'm not alone in remembering this. So back in Battlefield 1942, which was it was the original release of the Battlefield series. It released on on PC only.
Best game.
After a little while they had a bunch of mods, and one of them was called Desert Combat, which was an extremely popular mod. I played it competitively with a group called NSF, Northern Special Forces, but there was also a Star Wars mod for it.
Yep.
And the developer of that mod, if they would hire that guy, find that team, they would
Be golden.
be wiping their asses with $100 bills.
Mhm.
They would make so much money because that game is just utterly fantastic. And for the time that it was and the graphics that they got to work with, they created the perfect Star Wars Battlefield style game. And that's what, and I think maybe I overhyped it myself thinking it would be like that, but it was a very hyped game. Everybody was hyped with it. And it was like, I compare it to going to like on a blind date where your friend's hyping this girl and they're like, yeah, man, she is smoking hot. She's a gymnast. She's a contortionist. You're like, yeah. And you just show up and she's like, Donald Trump. I mean, that's the best That's the best way I can describe it without getting like a bajillion of feminists coming after us in our YouTube comments. But I just, it was just an utter and complete disappointment.
I
I felt that way a lot about mini games so far.
Yeah, it's just been bad. Like, I mean, Elder Scrolls Online, it was good. I enjoyed it, but then it just died out, and nothing recently has been able to capture my attention
For more than maybe a week.
Yeah, and keep my attention for an elongated period of time. And you know, there's been a couple games like GTA. I play the crap out of GTA, but you know, there's some fundamental things wrong with GTA. But whatever. Let me take that back. There has been one game that since the next gens have come out that I've consistently played. That's Battlefield 4. But it wasn't until they did their CTE, which is a community test environment, which is a thing they did. They released CTE open to the PC. You downloaded their CTE client and logged in, and they would roll out their test, and they would test it with the community. And the community would give feedback, and they would make changes based on this feedback. And finally, they released this really big patch, and they fixed Battlefield. Battlefield became what it should have been.
Yes.
Like, it became, like, it was perfect. Well, 90% perfect. There's still some issues, like the damn anti-air trucks that just bug the hell out of me. But anyway, we're not going to go into like full game mechanics of gameplay and stuff like that. But Battlefield has been the only game that I've stuck with, Battlefield 4, that I've stuck with the entire time that this PlayStation has been released. And kind of everything else has just been now Wolfenstein was a great game.
I never played it.
I think Uncharted would be a good one. If my PlayStation wasn't broke, I probably would have already beaten Uncharted.
Yeah.
Couple more times.
What's the is Uncharted the one like Grand Theft Auto?
No.
No. What are you?
What's that? What's that I'm thinking of? It's like a
Just Cause.
It's like a Mexican.
Just Cause.
You know, Just Cause actually had me captivated, and it's bad. Like 2 out of the 3 games that I just mentioned that I've played more than like a week or two have been single players.
Yeah.
So what these developers need to get back to doing is realizing that we do enjoy single player, but we want multiplayer for a resale value or a replay value, basically. I enjoyed the Battlefield 4 campaign, but I got it for the multiplayer, you know, and the other games it's just the developers are just not listening to the communities. There are some. Now, there are definitely some that are really listening to communities and really putting out good products, but they're just taking a while, and sometimes the whatever happens and that they don't get released. But like there's been a bunch of Steam games that have come out that I've participated in, like the betas, the open betas that you can buy the game and get access and stuff like that, and just I play it for a couple days or a couple weeks with the crew, and then it's like we just move on to something else.
Yep, I've been there many times.
I will say this about Star Wars Battlefront, and it was about being hyped for it. You know, I knew from the get-go that this game was, and this is going to be me basically defending this game, as crazy as that sounds. I knew from the get-go, that it had no conquest, had no single player, there was no space battles, but like that Star Wars side of me was like, fan in me is like, this is going to be good, because in all honesty, we have not had a good Star Wars game since Star Wars The Force Unleashed.
The first one.
The first Star Wars The Force Unleashed. We haven't had a good Star Wars game since then. We've honestly, the only multiplayer game from Star Wars that has been really good has been Battlefront 2, but that was if like you had Xbox Live for the Xbox and PlayStation, which was all just starting up. And maybe for PC, because I think that was all modded. But I think they needed Conquest. Conquest is what kept me playing. And then that small little story with, Darth Vader and the Empire kept me interested in Star Wars Battlefront 2. I could go back and still play that game right now. But, man, I don't understand. I know EA is very, very big on DLC and content and making you buy their content. But
we're going to sell you a hamburger bun, but the meat is DLC. Oh, you won't let us in tomatoes? I'm sorry, that's going to be DLC as well.
I mean, we're gonna give you 3 whole maps, but depending on what game mode you play is what areas of the map you play at. But hey, if you get it before this time right here, before 2 weeks, when the game comes out, you'll get Jakku, which is basically a big junkyard of Tatooine. Hey, thanks EA.
Yeah. Oh, I could go on many rants about another company that kind of doesn't listen to their following, which brings me into a game that I want to cover, but I'll do that whenever we're
Let's
done
just
with
go ahead and segue
Battlefront.
into
Yeah,
that.
go
I
ahead,
think I think we can all generally say that Battlefront just sucked a bag of dicks.
Yes, it did. It legitimately did.
I still think that's giving it a compliment.
I'm still holding back. Like I. All right, so we'll go ahead, Colby. We'll go ahead and segue into yours.
All right.
Hang on.
Go
If
on.
you want to know what drinking bleach is like, buy Star Wars Battlefront. Go ahead.
you'll
you'll want to.
curse the second you turn it on. But the game I want to talk about, it doesn't have a big following. It is more of a game that has a very tight knit group of people that play. It is a simulator by Ubisoft. Who would have thought? It is titled as a simulator. The game is called Silent Hunter 5. It puts you behind the periscope of a World War II German submarine. You're tasked to go out into the Atlantic or Pacific or Mediterranean Sea and sink stuff. Yeah, I don't know if I would consider a game with health bars a simulator. Like, Ubisoft, what the hell? You say you're a simulator, yet when you're shooting at a ship with a torpedo or your gun, it has a health bar. In what world is that a simulator? Anyone?
Oh God, just that's just.
They must have joined forces with EA for that one.
I guess, but thankfully it is a heavily moddable game, and a group over on the Subsim Radio forums, they came out and there's already like 700 different mods for this game. That adds back to the simulator style, basically where you have to track your target with realistic ways. I'm not going to go into that because that would be an hour-long discussion, and like I said, very small group of people play, and that was a loud thunder.
Yeah.
But basically, it made it to where ships sink how they do in real life. They flood, and over time, it gets so bad that you can't pump the water out, and it founders, it drowns. So, I'm happy they did that. They added better physics. They added to where you can't see a ship from 1,000 miles away. No human eye can do that. So, they fixed it, and I'm quite happy. And on the subject of Ubisoft, let's talk about the letdown that is Watch Dogs.
That's gonna be all you guys because I didn't actually play that game, thankfully.
Colby likes it. This is what's crazy. Is Colby
gameplay-
really liked it?
I loved the gameplay, but the rest of it was a letdown. Go watch the E3 stuff, and then look at what the game is. They cut over half of the content.
And
half.
If we're on the topic of Ubisoft, I can throw another one in there, but keep going.
For it.
I'll throw it in here. I'll throw it in a second.
Here's what's crazy is Ubisoft is known to do that. Like, they'll have the graphics, and you're just like, oh my goodness, how? How can you make a video game look like that? And you'll get the game itself, and you're like,
oh yeah, that
isn't
makes
what
about
I
it.
watched.
I know, and then you're like, oh well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And I
but
have a feeling.
with
Go on.
Watch Dogs, it was the character. You could not connect to him. They killed my niece. I gotta find her. Gotta find out who did it. Oh no, my sister. She's kidnapped.
I have to
Fine.
disagree there.
Let's use a random story generator here. All right, so we're gonna roll the dice. Alrighty. Okay, someone killed my daughter. All right.
No, that's what's funny. It's his niece.
It's
Oh,
his
yeah, my
niece.
And they're gonna roll and be like, okay, so all right, this person gets killed or kidnapped. All right, we'll go with that one. It's like a terribly written Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Story-wise, there's a point where I actually sat down and was like, what am I doing?
I liked the mechanics of the game. It was a fun game to play, but it was a letdown compared to what E3 showed. And Tom, as you were saying, about Ubisoft, I'm going to take a guess of what game you're going to be talking about.
It's another health bar bullet sponge game.
The Division?
Yeah.
Whew.
I was super hyped about this game. I was like, yes, something to fucking replace Destiny. Yeah.
Yep.
I'd rather drive nails through my appendages. I played it. I leveled up, got max level. I was just like,
What next?
I could really like, I'd like my time back, please. Like, so I go off of a thing here. So like, if I buy a game for $60, all right, I say, well, what is my time worth? What do I make in the real world? So if I can get X number of hours of playtime out of this game, then it was worth it. So by following that, you know, I did get my money's worth out of this game. But for it to be a multiplayer, it's garbage because like, all right, so you get max level. Guess what you get to do? You get to go into the dark zone or dark zone. I think is what it's called, and you get to like you do the same stuff over and over and worry about PvP and do airdrops and.
You don't want me to get started on this. You don't. You don't. This game, I played the beta, and, you know, at first I'm like, you know, I'm probably not going to be really big into this. I'm still kind of playing competitive Call of Duty. I'm probably not going to be big into played the beta, and it's like, oh my goodness, this is awesome. I can't wait. Game comes out, I'm loving it, the story. I'm actually really enjoying the story. And then, you know, it's kind of like Destiny, so at least the story is still open. There's still going to be parts of the story to be there, and it's like, okay, that's fine. I can't wait to continue the story. Let's go to the Dark Zone. Well, we don't have a gear score cap. Okay, so we have people that literally just played nothing but the Dark Zone, and not to the bugs. Oh my goodness. There was a point in time at the beginning of the game where you could go into the Dark Zone and get all the OP weapons, but you know what Ubisoft does? Well, we fixed the patch, so it's gone. Well, what about us players that's playing the game right?
Oh, well, screw
SOL.
you guys.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, Dark Zone's really hard to play in, you know, because you have to have a group of 2 or 3, or, I mean, at the time you had to have a group of between 2 or 4. You couldn't do it by yourself. So let's make sense, right? And then not to mention, to get the good weapons, you have to be level 50 Dark Zone level. Well, I don't have a group of 4. Every time I go in there, rogues kill me. Huh. Like, it pisses me off because the way the game is meant to be played is how I play it. If I'm going rogue, I'm doing it to get your loot. I'm not doing it because, oh, I get more XP because I kill 7 people and run away for 5 minutes. Alright. So let's come out with the first patch and first incursion. Well, there's a bug where you can get behind the thing and basically make it where it doesn't target you and the AI or the NPCs don't target you. You can just fucking destroy it. And you can get gear sets. Awesome. So there's a hard and expert difficulty. The expert difficulty, you get 240 gear sets. So your guy's very OP. Not to mention sentry gear at the time is if you shoot him in the fucking head, you get double damage. Awesome. Let's go to the Dark Zone, huh? Oh, great. These guys have the amazing fucking gear. Of course, I'm at 190, so I'm put into that group. Can't go to the Dark Zone. Alright, next one comes out. Let's make the NPCs harder. Where it's harder to play in the Dark Zone. Okay, the new incursion's actually really enjoyable. There's not a lot of bugs. I'm enjoying it. Dark Zone is cancer. Let's also make the rope 1 minute long to extract. Makes sense. Let's let the guy at the very top of the Dark Zone run all the way down to the DZ1 to cut the rope. And because he has the gear of a fucking god, he doesn't die. Makes sense. Alright.
Yeah.
DLC, Underground. That's it. Have fun, Underground. Woo! Enjoyable for 2 days. I can go on about the Dark Zone and how, and like the rogue system is so dumb. How do I get punished for someone who is not rogue that kills me out of nowhere because my back is turned to him? How do I get punished for that and lose points, lose XP, lose keys? Why do I get punished?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm venting about a girl right now. Like, this, it's bad. This game had so much value, so much play. It had so much content at first, and it's like, man, we don't have a lot of content for you guys. We'll just put that out. Play it 100 times. That's it. There's no reason to replay this game right now.
There's none. There's
No,
none. I have zero desire to play this game.
I've uninstalled it from my computer, and I never even beat the story. It just became literally same shit, different day.
In my opinion, it's kind of like Destiny. The only thing that the Division did better than Destiny is it told the story better. So obviously, the Division's going to have that DLC come out, the big DLC that they're going to have, where it's going to basically continue the story and it's going to add a lot. So I might give it a chance then, but if it doesn't, I don't understand.
I don't think I can. Like so I broke down with Destiny. I got the Taken King. I've been playing around.
I've heard the Taken King was good.
I still can't get into. I still
can't.
It's really hard to just get back going again for some reason.
From what I hear is if you stuck out and like you stay through the rough times with Destiny and like wasn't like me that played it for a week, beat the game, and then played a little bit of online and thought it was awful and then went and sold the game, then you're liking it. But if you're or you're not liking it, but if you're that group that stayed with it, you're really enjoying the game.
But I never could get into it at all. I pre-ordered the damn thing.
I hate to say that I honestly think the Division beta was better than the game itself.
It was.
I don't we're gonna put 5 different landmarks for bosses in DZ 1 and 2, but we're only gonna put 2 up north where it's actually worth going to. That game is so stressful, and at first I was like, this is a fun, stressful game. This is like something I can actually get into. But then it's like, this is retarded. The same group of 4 people, I can't get away from them. If I fight them, they're just going to destroy me and make me their little bitch. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to leave the DZ.
Well, now what?
Seriously, I've already done the incursion 100 times. What else is there to do? Oh, these bounties? These bounties are cool. Oh, it only does it once a fucking week? Even better.
It's terrible. And I have to say, I fell for the hype. I was extremely hyped for this game. And, yeah, I regret it.
I stayed up until whatever AM that was required to stay up for the release. I think it was like 2 AM or something. Watching the countdown on my TV, just watching it count down. Just
what, for Destiny or?
Yeah, for Destiny, and just letting it click down and click down and click down, and then I fell into the same hype for for this one,
the Division.
For the Division, and like, to be perfectly honest, and I'm gonna just hit on this real quick, and I know I talked about it last one that I was involved in with you guys last podcast, but the game that has kept my attention for quite some time, I haven't been able to play it because of work and different things like that, but Overwatch has continuously really outshined.
And I need to get back into
every other game that I've played. Overwatch is just, because Blizzard has a history of listening to their customer base.
Of course. Like
right now, there's the Olympic Games in Overwatch. Right now, you can play Lucio Ball, which is like, oh god, what's the soccer game that you drive around cars right now?
Rocket League.
Yeah, so it's like Rocket League, but it's Lucio and his push pistols. It's cool. So that's one game that has just outshined every single thing. There was a lot of hype about it, but it wasn't for me. I didn't super hype over it.
Honestly, I didn't see hype for this game until a month before it came out.
Yeah,
because it was kind of under wraps till about a month till it came out.
The beta came out, and that's when everyone's like, oh, whoa.
Yeah,
and unlike most games, it lived up to the hype of the beta.
Yeah, I mean, it really did. I really enjoyed the beta. I played the crap out of the beta, but I would buy the game, but it's kind of, I'm in a situation where it's like, do I want it, or is it like, who would all play with me? That's where I'm at right now. I don't have a lot of people to play with if I play that game.
And like,
It's
One
fun
big
to
thing
solo,
I had-
but it's not that fun to solo.
One big issue I had with Destiny was the grind. Now, before I even go any further with that, because I'm sure as soon as I said that, somebody just went, "Oh, well, that's what MMOs are for." Well, I've been grinding since 1999. I've been playing MMOs since EverQuest 1, and if anybody has played EverQuest 1, you guys know that was a mega grind game. But there was so much to grind, so many places that you could choose to go grind, so much to do, for the grind. And honestly, like the game was interesting because like it was challenging because if you died, motherfucker, you had to go get your corpse and all of your gear. So if you died and respawned in wherever your bind point was, you were naked. You had nothing. So say you worked, a week and got this one piece of armor. Well, guess what?
It's gone.
It's gone. It's gone. You've got to go get it. You have to go. So if you're in the middle of a dungeon, you got to go get that crap. You got to pay a necromancer to summon it. There's all sorts of stuff you have to do. So I've been grinding, and the grind that was Destiny was absolute shit in the beginning because, you would grind up a gold weapon, an elite or whatever it's called. I can't remember. What was the gold called? Anyway,
I
don't
don't remember.
know.
You'd grind out a gold, and then, a DLC would come out that would raise the cap, and their solution, you turned it in and got a brand spanking new one that was, okay, yeah, it's upped in power, but you had to regrind it. And there's only a couple grind locations for you to go grind that shit out. So it's like, well, fuck, I've got to go masturbate in this tunnel some more and get my gun back up. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was.
You want to know something that was crazy about The Division? The game launches at midnight, the hype is real, and within an hour of the game releasing, the servers crash.
Yeah, that was some issues. You couldn't log in.
Mm-mm.
It was a struggle to get in.
Man, well, look, I'm going to give you... I know I went above the limit. I have 3 that have really gotten my attention. If I can remember the third one, I'm going to say it. But the first one for me is the Call of Duty franchise. It's not a game, it's the franchise. Look, I'm a hardcore... Well, I was a hardcore Call of Duty player, played competitive Call of Duty, played for, competed for money, blah, blah, blah. Call of Duty Ghosts... I can play that year in general, and I'm sorry if you guys hear noises. It's my dog in my lap, and she wanted me to scratch her back. So it's if you hear that's her being Needless to say, Call of Duty Ghosts. I had a bad in general life with my life. I had a bad year, and that game I just I'm pretty sure I have a few gray hairs in me, just because of that game, and I will back. Oh God! I will back.
That was my dog.
I will back Sledgehammer because Sledgehammer did something different that no other company would do, and they had the balls to do it. Did it work? No. With Advanced Warfare, the movement system was just way too much. It was way too much. And then Black Ops 3, they're living, okay, well, they're going to do that. Let us do this movement system. Black Ops 3 isn't a bad Call of Duty, but Call of Duty has turned into a pay-to-win. You had the supply drops, I don't know, supply drops in Advanced Warfare, and then they released, okay, where you can buy supply drops for $10, $20, $100, and that's how you got your guns. And, of course, they had the variation of guns where you had the bow... 2 different crazy bows. One was basically on steroids with rapid fire, and the other one had the long shot of a sniper. And it was just okay, now this is just unfair and unfun. And then now you have Black Ops 3, which the first thing they say is we're not going to have weapons. There's just going to be weapon skins and stuff like that. The first thing that comes out, new gun, the M14 Grand. And it's awesome. So this 2-bullet kill gun is amazing. Awesome. And then it's just well, I'm playing it a lot, grinding the game. I'm not having fun. Oh, you can't do this, Lily. You can't do that. I'm just not having fun. I haven't had fun with a Call of Duty campaign-wise and multiplayer-wise since Black Ops 2. And I didn't even enjoy the campaign in Black Ops 2. The last campaign I enjoyed was Modern Warfare 3, which in my opinion is still to this day That series or that trilogy is the best first-person shooter trilogy in my opinion. In my opinion, that is the
I'll have to agree with you there.
that is the
I
best first-person shooter trilogy, with surrounding Captain Price and Soap McTavish, and then actually having a story behind it, and then keeping it with the multiplayer having a resale value. Black Ops 2 was a great multiplayer game. That's the only thing it had. Treyarch is big on multiplayer, and it was great. But when it came to Ghost, don't get me. I remember the third game, by the way. Don't get me wrong. Infinity Ward. Don't get me wrong. Most of their staff left, but can we really? We're gonna put a gigantic map for Call of Duty. Like for Battlefield, did work, but for Call of Duty is way too big. The game modes are awful. Hey, Hardpoint is working. CTF is working. Let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of these game modes that are fan favorites. Get rid of them. Says CTF, we're going to put Blitz. Like, come on. Sledgehammer knew, and they even said it in their multiplayer reveal. Well, Treyarch introduced Hardpoint, which was a fan favorite, so we're going to bring it back. And then introduce their own game mode, which was Uplink, which is a fan favorite today, and it's great to watch. And then Black Ops 3, they've had their few, new game modes that aren't big, but it's like, come on. And speaking of, Titanfall was another big disappointment.
Oh yeah.
Game got super hyped, and I played it. I'm not lying to you. I bought the game and played it for maybe an hour, and that's it.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And that's all I have to say about Titanfall. And I will say this, and Colby, this is where you're going to get really, really defensive here. So get ready. Tom, I don't know if you're in the same boat I am, but the Assassin's Creed series for the next-gen consoles have been bad. Except for Unity. Unity was really good. They kind of revamped it with their last Assassin's Syndicate. Yes, Syndicate. With their last game. I know how Colby feels. Colby likes them all.
All of them. For Unity and Syndicate.
Now, Tom, let me ask you this: How do you feel from Black Flag to Syndicate?
I didn't like it.
Any of them?
No, I am a diehard original part of the series. I think they started grasping at straws and doing all kinds of extra stuff that I just didn't like.
I loved them. I have to go on the defensive on this one, and I don't mind going on the defensive. And I look at it more in a technical aspect. Well, for one, Black Flag, I will say, it was a terrible Assassin's Creed, amazing pirate game. Unity was a test bed for a new physics engine, so they didn't want to jam pack it with content. They used it as a test bed.
So let's
So I
release
think they
it to the public.
Well, I can see why. They needed the money to fund the next one. But I think what they're doing now, right now they're saying 2017 for the next one. But they might wait till 2018. They're taking their time on the next installment, and I am incredibly happy. They say they are completely redoing every aspect of Assassin's Creed.
They need to. They need to redo the story, because it's, as of right now, it's like, what am I doing? I'm just killing people from way back when.
Well, the story style is going to continue. If you looked last at the end of Syndicate, Minerva is now starting to rebuild her, following and all that. She's hacking into Abstergo. They're going to continue that, but by what Ubisoft is saying, it is going to be in depth. You're supposedly going to have a modern day character instead of just being some no-named PC gamer,
which is needed.
You're going to have a new character, and you'll be following his storyline. And rumor has it that the new Assassin's Creed is going to take place in ancient Egypt. It is going to be the origin story of the Assassin Order.
Now, I will say this. If they do one in ancient Rome, and I'm pretty sure they've already done one, but it was a while back.
They have not. Rome has not been one.
If they do an ancient Rome in the time of like gladiators and stuff like that.
Oh, no, they haven't done that.
I would be all over that, like yellow on Mountain Dew.
Well, but it'd be kind of hard to do that because they've already done a Rome. They've done Rome for basically 2 games. If you really want to play it,
one game.
Well,
one
no,
game.
You can argue too because even though it's a small portion, you do play in Rome in Assassin's Creed 2.
At the very end.
Yeah.
But and then of course all of Brotherhood is
all of
Rome.
Brotherhood. Brotherhood is still by far the best Assassin's Creed ever created.
I may need to give that one another playthrough then.
I honestly think the series started dying after 3, and people argue that 3 is considered one of the worst, but I loved 3.
I found 3 very boring. It was about this emo Indian that wanted to avenge and blah 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 blah.
I remember that you start off as the Indian kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. I think that was actually one of the last ones I played, if I'm not mistaken.
But you can argue that the entire Kenway family was like that.
Oh yeah, all of them. Hatham, Connor, and then Edward and 4.
They were all moody.
Yeah,
If you
but
really
it
look
just
at
Connor had no character. I could not get connected with Connor. Hatham I could, and Edward I could. But Connor was just like, I want to avenge my mother's death. Almost the whole thing of Aiden from Watch Dogs.
Aiden was a lot worse. I'm sorry. Niece died.
I need to kill
them.
the.
Let me turn this stadium off real quick.
But really, I don't have any other games to talk about because I don't really follow or get into the hype of a game that I don't show interest in. Tom, Blake, you don't have any more?
I mean, I've covered the ones that I've needed to cover, the my ranting ones. I mean, I could pull some more out, but the ones that I've discussed are pretty much the top of the of the food chain on just the complete and utter letdown. Like Reign of Kings was a complete letdown.
I never played it.
Thief.
Oh, Thief was terrible.
I don't understand. We're going to launch and they did this for every console, basically. We're going to launch a game for a console, right? Let's do this. But we're not going to have any good games come out for it.
Nothing like I'm still waiting for that bomb of a title to drop on next gen. It hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't. I mean, you can consider Fallout that bomb, but
Fallout was plagued with a lot of problems at the beginning. I enjoyed Fallout. I've always loved the Fallout series. I played and streamed a good bit of Fallout in the beginning, but I got bored. I got bored with the mundane of, all right, we're gonna go over here. Oh look, we're gonna kill these guys. Oh look, we're gonna go kill this guy. And it's just.
I've never been a fan of Fallout.
You
I
gotta
don't hate
be
on
a
it,
big-
but I've never been a fan.
You have to be a big Fallout lore lover to get into any of the Fallout stories, and that's one reason I've never gotten into it is I don't like the lore. Or it's not that I don't like it. I never could get into the lore.
The one thing I'm really waiting for is that one first-person shooter that's not like Halo, isn't like Call of Duty, nothing like that. Which we could also throw in the most recent, in my opinion, disappointment, which is being Homefront. And basically, we need. I honestly really want a first-person shooter that has a good story. I want something modern. In my opinion, the entire World War II story has been told. So I mean, even if you're not,
we've got Battlefield 1 coming out. We've got Battlefield 1, which I think is going to be. I don't want to overhype it. I really don't want to.
I don't want to
really
overhype it either.
It scares me, but I'm excited. I'm excited, and I want it to be. I want it to be done well. I want it to be good. It's a complete break from every single thing that genre time period that we've been playing. It's going back to World War I. And you're like, well, how can World War I be fun? I think they're doing some things to make it fun, but I don't know. I can't. I don't want to go heavy on it until I actually get it in my hands and actually start playing it because I'm burned. Like I can't get hyped about games right now because there just hasn't been one that has. The only one that I've really hyped about, and it was a short hype, was Overwatch, and that's been like.
It lived up to the hype, though, at least.
Yeah, and that's been the saving kind of grace is that game, and then, I mean, hell, I'm having fun with Unturned, and it's so rudimentary simple that it's fun because it's so simple. You're a block
shooting zombies.
I will say this because we are about to hit the 1 hour mark, and I am wanting to talk about No Man's Sky because this is really what this show is about: is the fact that No Man's Sky is going to be the recent and the upcoming title they released that's hyped. But with Battlefield 1, I think the best way you can do this, and I'm going to use it as an example because this is how I went into this. With Batman versus Superman, it was set for failure from the beginning, from the critics and everything. And I went into it with a very, very low expectation because I did not like the fact that Ben Affleck was Batman. But I exit that theater. When I did leave that theater, I enjoyed it. I liked that. I think Ben Affleck's the best Bruce Wayne character. I'm not saying he's the best Batman, but I think he's the best Bruce Wayne we've had. And I think I'm gonna go into Battlefield 1 with this expectation of a very low expectation, which I think is good for myself, but it also scares me because every EA DICE game has a beta. Now, do we know if Battlefield 1 will have a beta or not?
Yes, it already has been said that it will.
Is it going to be one of those free betas like every single one of their betas?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so...
Well, they've already are in a closed beta test right now, or closed alpha, and they're running it like the CTE for Battlefield 4. They're, after about five matches or so, you can fill out a form on, okay, this is what you think needs to be changed, this is what needs to, this needs to do this needs to do this. So I believe Battlefield 1 is going to be actually quite decent on release, because I think they have learned from their failures with the launch of BF4. And now they know what to do with BF1.
Well, that's good, but part of me doesn't even want to want to do the beta.
Why?
Because I don't want to play it and love the game to get the game and not enjoy it.
Well, I'm going to be playing the beta. It's a free beta. Why not?
I can guarantee you I'm going to be playing the beta, but part of me is like, don't do it, Blake. Don't do it.
Now,
look, Colby, we're No Man's Sky, next big hyped game, because we're literally a minute away from hitting the hour mark, and we can go over, of course, No Man's Sky, and I'm wanting Tom's opinion also, No Man's Sky being the next super hyped game. But let me say this first. Be sure, if you guys are wanting to support us, it's free. I promise, it's free. It does not cost you a thing. Hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that like button. And if you want to hit that dislike button, guess what? It helps us out too. So, hit it. Now, Colby, by the way, I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but actually, if you hit the dislike button, it's just as good as a like. Colby, No Man's Sky, you're the one that is probably the most hype out of all of us.
Oh, yeah.
You have the most
Pre-ordered
information
it last
on
night.
Let's hear it.
Oh, where to begin with it? It's going to be everything that a space exploration lover has been wanting in a video game. There's been a few other games like Elite Dangerous that has quote unquote promised what No Man's Sky is doing, but it never gave what they promised. No Man's Sky is pretty much fulfilling everything that the creator has said it's going to be doing. Sean Murray has stated that they have literally, and I kind of like him for this, he's kind of cocky, it is releasing on PC and PS4 only. The reason it's not on Xbox is because the Xbox console does not have the hardware to run everything that he wants this game to do. And instead of dumbing down a game, he just kind of gave the middle finger to Microsoft and said, you're not getting it. I'm giving it to the people that can run it. And I have much respect for Sean Murray because of that. Why dumb down a game to a lower standard than what he's been promising? They've delayed it 2 months because there were a few issues. I forgot if it was issues on the PS4 or PC version, but they wanted to get it fixed. Sean said that when this game is released, it should be as close to flawless as you possibly can given the size of the universe. Here's some statistics. After a worldwide release, after 10 years of the game being out with max capacity that people can play, 99.999 repeating % of the universe will still be undiscovered.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a fun game to just get lost in. And that's what I look for in gaming.
Yes.
I want to get lost.
I want to
load up a game. I want to stare at my screen and on the weekend go, damn, it's 3 a.m. I feel like I've been playing for 10 minutes. I haven't got anything done. Oh my God, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
The last time I was able to do that was Star Wars Galaxies.
I think the last time I've ever done that with a game was. Yeah, I can't think of it.
Now we do that with GTA a little bit, but that's
Yeah,
just
we do
because
that
we're
with
all
GTA.
together and going on mass murdering sprees with each other.
Yeah,
Call
that's
of Duty
GTA
Black Ops
though.
2 for me.
Like I want to get lost. I want to get sucked into the environment of the game. I want to like be flying around, going whoa.
I know.
And so hopefully this game. I haven't decided what I'm gonna get it on yet. If I'm gonna get it on PC or PS4, I've yet to decide. But I know I'll be streaming the crap out of it.
All right, Tom.
Um,
Let me tell you something. This might help you make it your decision. Yes, the game is online. It's always been proven. It is online, but
we're
the
not-
thing is, there are no player tags. There are no way to differentiate between a player and an NPC. So Tom and I might pass each other one day and never even know it.
Yeah.
So that, being my deciding factor. I'm on my PC more than my PlayStation, so I got it on PC.
Yeah, and I'm on my PC more than my PlayStation. And if I have to, if it sucks up the resources of my PC, I've got my MacBook that can handle the streaming side of everything. So I'm not worried about that. I just rebuilt my PC to a. I mean, it's a pretty beast of a system.
It
but
won't. The minimum requirements. This just goes to show what the maximum should be. The minimum to run this game flawlessly, you only need a GTX 480.
Oh wow, yeah, and I've got a 1070 coming.
Yeah, I'll be getting a 1070 soon. I have an AMD HD 70, I believe, which is the equivalent of a GTX 660. By what I've been reading, I'll be able to run the game, maybe not on ultra, but definitely far past low. So it's not a resource heavy game. It only needs 6 gigs of RAM. I have 16. It's not a heavy game.
Hopefully it turns out to be what we hype it up to be.
Because the greatest thing is when you go onto a planet and what's rendered, and then when you leave, it clears its own cache. It doesn't stay with you, so it's only having to render so much.
Yeah.
And then the rest is stored on an online database.
So let's hope.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll know Tuesday.
Yep.
There is one more thing I'm wanting to say about all this, and the people that hate on developers when they delay a game, and this is how I tell to Colby and anyone I talk to when it comes to stuff like this, there's only 2 ways a video game can go when they delay it. It's either going to be really good or it's going to be terrible. The best example, there's 2 examples that I can give you. Batman Arkham Knight got delayed 3 or 4 times, and I loved everything about that game.
It was an amazing game.
Loved the story was perfect.
The graphics were beautiful.
The storytelling was perfect, and it wasn't too much. It wasn't too little. It was just right. Now, if you want the hit or miss, here's the miss. The Division got delayed, 2 or 3 times, and the moment it came out, buggy as hell.
Yep.
Yep.
Dude, now here's the final question. Colby, I know what your answer will be on this. Will No Man's Sky be a hit or miss?
I don't really know.
What about you, Tom?
Uh-oh.
I think it's going to be a hit, honestly. I think it's going to appeal to some older gamers like myself that want to get lost, that don't really want that instant gratification that a lot of developers are doing towards.
I honestly think that this game will be the one that gets the wow factor, because honestly, when have we ever seen a game like this that's able to where you're basically just in outer space, dude?
Never.
Exactly.
There was one called Elite Dangerous, but even then it's very limited to what you can do in it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to do it for us, unless you guys have something you're wanting to say. We've gone over the hour mark.
No, nothing really.
No, I think we covered what we wanted to cover. I think the viewers might like this. Just remember, guys, let us know what you think about the show. What topics you might want to hear next time. What you want to, what you want different. If you hate the sound of my voice, tell me. Let me know, and I'll put a voice morpher on. I'll just move to my other microphone.
The next in-game will not be until, not next week, but the week after that. Next week we'll have next big thing, the NXT show for the wrestling fans. But for Colby and Tom, wait, what? What's going on here?
Bob said, "Damn it, Blake, I wanted to be a part of the show."
But Bob, you
Sad
are a part of the
face.
show. You're there with us. You're giving them moral support. I mean, right now
Yeah.
I'm looking at your internal design and I am in awe.
Bob said, "Wait, what?"
Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, boys, that's a wrap.
Bob, I'll allow you to say goodbye, okay? How about that?
Bob said goodbye.
All right, well,
Short and sweet. I love it.
listen, everyone, again, doesn't cost you a thing. Hit that subscribe button. It's free. Also hit that like button. And Mondays and Tuesdays, we go live with the Monday Night Raw review. That we are a wrestling podcast also. We go live with the Monday Night Raw review. Tuesdays is the SmackDown Live review. Every other Thursday now. Well, every Thursday is a show, but every other Thursday it's a different show. 1 week it's going to be In-Game, which is this week, and next week will be next big thing. Saturday's Keeping It Real, and who knows, this might be the last show I'm on for a little while with In-Game. So again, for Tom and Colby and Dexter for listening and being a pal.
Yep,
Till
Dexter
next
has
time.
been on standby because I've got this really bad weather coming in, and if my power were to have crapped out on us, Dexter would have been right there to jump into my spot and keep things going.
Dex, you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye from the background.
So until next time, peace out, guys.
Later.
Later.